For the men who were transported here, it was one of the cruelest places on earth. For more than 30 years, the most difficult prisoners were sent to Port Arthur for the severest forms of punishment. Some were driven insane, many were flogged, starved, or worked to death. Just on this half-hectare patch known as the Isle of the Dead are the remains of 2,000 people who didn't survive, most of them convicts buried in unmarked communal graves. And when you come to this place, you don't just have a sense of being close to history. Sometimes it seems like the past could almost come to life. This is the silent classic for the term of his natural life, the dramatised tale of a convict wrongly sent here. The film is shown almost every night in the Port Arthur General Store, just metres from where the ill treatment took place. It's a prelude to one of the most unusual tours of any historic site in Australia, a ghost tour.
I just want to stress these are authentic stories that I'll be telling you. They do come from the early records. They do come from my own personal experiences. We don't use any special effects. There's nobody going to be jumping up behind trees. There's no tape recorders with weird noises.
Every night, as many as 120 people wander among the ruins of the penal colony to experience something of its tangible past.
At the moment, you are standing on the site of a murder.
Guides like Andrew Simmons take visitors through Port Arthur's macabre and often bloody history.
The more blood a surgeon had on his jacket, the better qualified he was. He used to let this blood accumulate over the years. The senior surgeon was a bit of a workaholic and liked to bring some work home with him, and this was his dissection room. Oh. Great.
Much of it is the familiar retelling of harsh penal discipline.
Left these deep red marks, like a cat had clawed you. That's why they called it the cat of nine tails. Eyewitness accounts mention bits of flying flesh hitting people up to 10 yards away. Just going through here.
Oh, God, I wonder what that was.
And the tales turn more and more to ghosts.
Upon opening her eyes, she saw an apparition, sort of draped in white. Slight glow about it.
In place after place, the stories are told.
He said that about 5 o'clock in the morning, his grave digger's cottage shook violently. He went outside to see what was happening, and there he found the walls glowing crimson and red. And in the glow, he saw the face of the devil who spoke to him.
The effect on people can be dramatic.
A girl on one tour, when we got to the commandant's, and standing on the veranda there, a girl aged about 20, she suddenly sort of collapsed in a heap. Fortunately, there was 2 guides on that night, and I took this girl away, and she calmed down once she got away from the building.
Not that anyone really believes this sort of thing.
Well, I don't disbelieve them. It's, I'd like to experience one, actually.
Do it by yourself.
But there's no way you can disbelieve the supernatural anywhere, in my opinion.
So how do you feel going on a walk like this tonight and hearing all those stories?
Well, I feel, well, coming through that prison there, the model prison, it was quite hair-raising, actually, as far as I'm concerned there.
By day, Port Arthur is far from threatening. In fact, it's a classic tourist attraction. People climb out of their coaches, wander around the grounds, read plaques and take photographs before heading off to the souvenir shop. But one thing you won't find is the gimmickry of staff dressed up as convicts and mock floggings. The emphasis here is still on history, with an intriguing dose of real-life death. Such as you'll find on these regular ferry tours around the harbour to the Isle of the Dead.
As they reached the top, they heard a scream.
They turned round and they saw Robert falling into the water. He had a woolen greatcoat on. He was a non-swimmer and he just sank. They raced down and the doctor wrote down it took them 8 minutes to find the body. When they lifted it from the water, Robert let out a scream. Of course, now we know that was just the air from his lungs at that time.
A guided group tour may not be everyone's idea of experiencing Port Arthur's disturbing history. But unless you're exceedingly brave or lacking in imagination, it's nice to have others around you when you're caught in Port Arthur's nocturnal spell.